The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN Tuesday morning, 8:30 a.m., 60 minutes to go until that opening bell, and we got markets in positive territory. A little bit of a reprieve from yesterday's action. Quite the acceleration to negative prices yesterday. We'll start it off with the S&Ps, up 12 points right now at 34.05, or about 50 points, 50, off the lows that we made yesterday. You could call it a flash low because we got quite a bounce by the end of the day. You make it to 33.56 at about 1:30 p.m. Eastern time in the afternoon yesterday. You close out the day right near 3,400, just shy of that number. Currently above 3,400 at 34.05. NASDAQ up 49 points, 11,542. We're about 200 points on the dot from the lows we had yesterday, 11,343. The Dow right now positive by 70 points, 27,650. We were down at 27,259 yesterday. Crude had traded lower as well, currently up 24 cents on the session, 38.80. Gold contract down $2 at 19.03. Silver up 4 cents at 24.46. And the note and bond market continuing to get a little bit of higher price and lower yield. The 10-year right now up 2 ticks at 138.23. We're hovering right at around 0.8%, just under that number right now, I believe, with a yield of about 0.79 and maybe some change on that 10-year note. And we'll jump over to the VIX this morning. 7 days out from the presidential election, and that VIX no longer comfortable at 28. It's now comfortable at 32. Quite a number, but you think about it, folks, 7 days, a lot hanging in the balance. We get GDP numbers for the third quarter on Thursday. We have a big week of earnings already in full swing. We'll go over to some of those companies in a moment. And Thursday, we get quite the day as well. I believe it's Facebook, Amazon, Google, Apple. Doesn't get much bigger than that on Thursday. And then, of course, presidential election on Tuesday, 7 days from right now. If you haven't voted yet, folks, still time to vote early in a lot of states. Still time to actually vote by mail in a lot of states if you already have your ballot, or just get out there 7 days from right now on Election Day, Tuesday, November 3rd. Pretty remarkable. We are a week from the election. All right, jumping around to what else we have going on in the market. We'll start it off with, check this out. 8:30 a.m. Love doing the show at 8:30 a.m. We're going to get some GDP numbers on Thursday at that time. Durable goods orders rose 1.9% in September. The market was only looking for a 0.5% increase. That number hitting the tape right at 8:30 as we came on the air. We'll see if the market reacts to that, but a good number nonetheless. AMD overnight. They're going to buy Xilinx for $35 billion with a B, billion dollars. Quite a deal. Semiconductor designer AMD on Tuesday said it agreed to buy Xilinx, $35 billion, all-stock deal. It's going to intensify AMD's battle with Intel in the data center chip market. Two U.S. firms have benefited from a more nimble approach to grab market share from Intel, which has struggled with internal manufacturing. That's putting it lightly, struggling. They're falling behind in a big way. There's your action on AMD, folks. My goodness, right? So they go and spike to $75.90, and look at that run that it's had. That's on their earnings. They have the earnings conference call, starting about a half hour ago, and it's traded from 76. We're now in positive territory at 84.31 for AMD. And as you may expect as well, Xilinx, look at that pop from 115 to about 135 right now on Xilinx shares on that news. $35 billion, not bad. Sheldon Adelson, he may be getting out of the Las Vegas gambling business and focus on the Macau gambling business. They are exploring selling their flagship casinos in Vegas for about $6 billion. Sources are reporting yesterday to Reuters. So they're going to think about, that's Las Vegas Sands, we'll pull up that chart in a moment, exploring selling the casinos in Vegas for $6 billion, and that would then consolidate things in Macau and Singapore. the potential sale. They're talking about the Sands Expo Convention Center, the Venetian Resort Las Vegas, and the Palazzo. You ever been there, folks? Beautiful hotel. I believe the Venetian is all suites. I've stayed there. Great casino, great poker room, but they don't do anywhere close to the amount of gambling revenue that some of the casinos in Macau do. I'll have to find a chart. When you compare the gambling revenue, now there's a lot of revenue in general for services, whether that's restaurants, experiences, hotel stays, all of that stuff, growing in Vegas, but gambling revenue actually not growing. When you go over to Macau, gambling revenue is soaring so much higher in terms of what they're taking in compared to the revenues for each aspect of their business, but they're thinking about exiting the Las Vegas business because their revenue coming basically dramatically from that Macau and Singapore market. There's Las Vegas Sands. See the volatility on that news. Market probably loved that idea when it first came, thinking about selling the properties, paring some of those gains. Still going to open about $2 in the positive at 51 for Las Vegas Sands. All right, back to earnings. Eli Lilly, they missed estimates on weak demand, COVID drug development costs. How about $400 million? It said it expects 2020 research and development for COVID, $400 million. LLY is their symbol. And there you see the drop from 142 to about 134 so far this morning. We also get 3M earnings, topping expectations, strong personal safety equipment sales. 3M, they got those masks, right? Those N95s. And actually trading a little bit lower. 163.93 from about 166.16. Caterpillar out with their numbers. We're going to go over some of the bigger numbers, then we'll go over some of the companies reporting later today, tomorrow, Thursday. I believe it's 186 companies reporting this week alone in the S&P 500. We're just going to go over some of the bigger companies. Caterpillar out with their numbers, 54% drop in sales in the third quarter, lower equipment demand, not what you want to see for the economy, but not too surprising. $1.34 share. $9.9 billion, not bad in 90 days. That's a 23% decline, though, year over year. And above expectations, though, the market was looking for 1.18 on a pretty close number of about 9.8 billion. Caterpillar shares so far this morning, though, trading a little bit lower to 159.50 from about 163, down about $4. And we also got Merck with their numbers. We'll pull them up in a moment, trading from 79 to about $80.50 this morning. And you got Merck, annual profit outlook raised. Keytruda drives profit outlook, And getting into their numbers, full year adjusted profit, they're looking for $5.91 to $6. The market previously was looking for $5.63 to $5.78, so a beat there. Excluding items, $1.74. Market was looking for $1.44. Sales of Keytruda, which is an approved treatment for cancers, including non-small cell lung cancer, rose 21%. Man, 3.7 billion, estimates of 3.66, big numbers in that drug, and there you see the acceleration higher. All right, folks, we got those durable good orders. We're trading at 34.05 from about 34.10 at 8 a.m. this morning. Markets in positive territory 7 days from the presidential election. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back after this break.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We get the S&P sitting up about 12 points right now, and we talked about Las Vegas Sands. I'm going to pull up real quick. Tom actually sent me a chart of that revenue that they are dealing with, and check this out. So this is kind of what we're talking about here. Casinos, $10 billion. Rooms are $2 billion. Macau, how about almost $9 billion in 2019 revenue? That's $9 billion of a 13.7 total. Macau, Singapore, 3.1. Of the 13.7 billion they took in revenue in 2019, only 2 of that in the U.S. So they're going to focus on these numbers, and look at that 3-year growth rate. Almost 10% Macau, 3.5% in Singapore, and decreasing in Las Vegas. Rooms, food and beverage. I wonder what the percentage breakdown of where rooms come from, where food and beverage comes from. I imagine a large portion of this 9.8 casino revenue coming from Macau over there, but pretty fascinating nonetheless. So they may focus on that. They may exit that U.S. market. Beautiful casinos up for sale, $6 billion if you want to own the Venetian on the Strip. All right, what else we got going on? How about Bitcoin jumping over? Catching a little bit of a pop yet again. The headlines out there for Bitcoin, we're talking about the highest level since post-bubble crash in 2018. That's where it's approaching. We're not quite there yet. Bitcoin reaches a high of 13,550. You put this back on a 3-year weekly, which does take us back for the entirety of Bitcoin in the futures market. Bitcoin opens for futures trading December of 2017 at an all-time high of 20,650 for the first time ever. Traders are able to short Bitcoin on a regulated exchange. And what do you think happens, folks? We go from 20,650 down to a price point of 6,000. This is a weekly. That was December 18th of 2017. By February 5th of 2018, we're at 6,000. Quite a short. A lot of money made, I'm sure, there in the futures market with the ability to short. And it continued down to a low of about 3,000. But check it out, 13,435 right now. And it's saying approaching that level it's approaching just shy of 14,000, 13,915. So we're about $500 from that price point. And then after that, we're just in lofty territory that we were only at for a period of a few weeks in the beginning of futures trading, and it's taken us almost 30 years to get back to anywhere near the realm of that level in Bitcoin. But the highest level since that level, there's your pop. We talked about it, 31.36 in December 2018. Crypto coming back in a big way. Some of this acceleration, PayPal announcing that they'll start allowing you to purchase items in crypto. I mean, it's a big deal. If you start being able to store your Bitcoin in a company like PayPal, use it for transactions, the opportunities are endless. All right, what else we got going on? Jumping back to earnings, BP out with their numbers, beats third quarter estimates, swings back to profit. I mean, how about those numbers for an oil company, right? Getting into the numbers for BP. Third quarter underlying replacement cost. Come on, where are we? They don't do a very nice job there. All right, let's pull this bad boy up. BP. That's your weekly. Not a great chart, to put it lightly. And there's your volatility on their earnings. So a little bit lower, 1565. But man, oh man, right? Check out that weekly chart. Can you find any strength? I mean, yeah, the argument can be made, right, that it's coming right back to down to this level. And maybe that's the argument. But boy, you want to see some type of a pop in this equity. That's your 3-year weekly. You put it on the daily. There you see the COVID collapse. And we're right back to the lows of basically March 20th when you went from 40 to 1550. You made it all the way back up to 2838. I mean, just a crazy acceleration. Then it's a one-way trip down from BP. All right, what else we got going on? Stanley Black & Decker out with their numbers, $289 a share. The market was looking for $273. Revenue below forecast, however. The company saying shipments in its tools and storage segment were shifted into the current quarter from September. Shares lost 5%. You know, a company like that, excuse me, you're selling SWK? Yes, SWK. You're selling tools to rejuvenate the home, right? I mean, it's been quite a pop from 70 back to 180. You're just above pre-COVID levels, though. Selling tools, I mean, I know that things have calmed down in certain sectors, but a company like that selling tools for home repair, home renovations, you should be above these levels. You should be higher than you're going to be. We're going to open this morning at 166. You're going to open basically under where you were trading at in February for a company like that, Stanley Black & Decker. Meanwhile, compare that to where those tools are sold, right? They're sold at Lowe's. They're sold at Home Depot. You see where we're trading at from 124. We've tripled the lows that we were at, the lows of lows, from 60 to almost, well, to 180 exactly, actually. A little bit higher, but we were trading at about 120. Home Depot, you've gone from 140 up to 276. We were trading at only 240. And again, you compare it to, you know, yes, you're back to those levels, but they should be higher. Not capitalizing maybe on an opportunity with the amount of home renovations that are going on, the housing market, how hot it is, people moving in that market. You'd think you would see that a little bit higher. All right, Harley-Davidson out with their numbers, 78 cents a share. The market was only looking for 21, quite a beat. Revenue above forecast as well. Continues their turnaround effort. That's quite a beat. Harley-Davidson. What's going on? Everyone out there riding their Harley hogs? So we closed yesterday at 29. We're going to open at 31.73. The high from 2 days ago was just above 30. So that's going to put us back to highs that we haven't seen since basically February, from $14.31. And there's your action on their earnings this morning. 31.72 we're trading at right now, all the way up to 32.54 initially. Harley-Davidson. Now, for some context here, this is a monthly. You had a huge spike in 2007. The pullback in the market collapsed 2008, 2009. You make it all the way back. I mean, this is just crazy. The high here, 74.13. Yes, 74.13. So within almost $2 of the all-time high. And then just like that, you go from $75 and we reach a low of $14.65. Hopefully that trend continues, putting it on a 3-year weekly. And you see the fall off when we're talking about COVID. We were trading at about 35, but this is a lower trend. I mean, that's a big beat in a big way, but they still have a long way to go for Harley. We talked about Eli Lilly, JetBlue out with their numbers. We got some airlines going on. They lost $1.75 a share. The market was looking for $1.96, though. Revenue above forecast, encouraged by upcoming holiday bookings. That's pretty dicey. I wouldn't imagine that myself. We got quite the spike going on in cases. JetBlue, we're going to open a little bit higher this morning. I mean, the trend is upward. That's a 3-year weekly. There's your daily, $6.61, the low for JetBlue. We're trading this morning at $12.78, so just a bit higher. Struggling a bit. Holiday season. You know, if you're out there traveling, you're flying, just be safe, folks. Some stark numbers for COVID right now. All right, stay tuned. We got one more segment coming up. S&P's positive by 9, trailing off a bit, 34.03. Stay tuned, folks. I'll be right back in 3 minutes.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step-by-step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab. Bam!
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get the competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based, vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
There we go. Now you can hear me. Look at that, excuse me, acceleration, 34.10 to 33.99 right now in the S&P. And as you're seeing the VIX spiking back up 32.42. We'll finish it off with the VIX. So the headline out there, 7-week high, bets jump on post-election calm. All right, but that means a little bit of election volatility. Sell-off on U.S. stocks amid a stimulus, stalemate, and a resurgence of coronavirus helped push the VIX up almost 5 points to 3250. We haven't seen that level since September 8th. What I found interesting in here, the put-call ratio is the black line here. The VIX, the red line. You see this put-call ratio. We're now above anywhere where we were, even during the March and April collapse in the market, extending its recent rise to the highest in 14 years. That's crazy, folks. The 10-day moving average of total put volume relative to total call volume for the gauge, a measure of demand for short volatility bets, extended its rise to a highest in 14 years. Keep your eye on that. Nothing like some volatility 7 days out from a presidential election like we've never seen before. We got GDP numbers coming down the line on Thursday. We got some huge tech stocks with their numbers on Thursday. We have 186 stocks reporting earnings this week. And let's jump over to the 10-year yield. Continuing that rise. Check it out. We're rising. The market right now, giving up some of the gains as we talked about. The yield coming back a bit. We're now under 0.8% in the 10-year, and we got the 10-year up about 4 ticks at 138.24. You put this on a daily. 139.22 have been those recent highs. But as you see, anytime we've kind of deviated from a line, maybe you call it at about 139, we've just been oscillating above and below that line. Made it to a low of 138.05, and we're up a solid 20 ticks in the 10-year from those lows just a couple of days ago on Friday. All right, folks, stay tuned. We got our man Larry Pezzimento. It's coming up live next. We got 35 minutes to go until the open, and the market's hanging on to positive territory right now. The Dow positive by 2 points. S&P positive by 5. Stay tuned.